So hi guys, welcome to my vlog, which is the VlogTorial, and this video will be discussing about the entity relationship diagrams, or the ARD. Its basics, the entity, the attributes, the relationship, and especially its symbols, because that is a very important one. So let's get hop into it. Hi guys, so now we're going to discuss my data model using the ERD, or the entity relationship diagram. My topic will be the employee's leave application. So here it is. And let us first tackle about the entity employee. This entity is one of the most important entity in our data model. Now, the entity employee has attributes which are the name and the ID number. As we can see, the ID number has another line, which means that is our primary key. Now, we all know that the name has attributes. In our when we write it in the paper, we first write our given name, middle name, and the surname. Now, that means that the name has attributes: given name, middle name, and surname. That is the first entity in the attribute relationship. Maybe you may ask, why did I just include the name and the ID number? It's just that I only named it name and ID number because I want just the necessary attributes for the employee entity. Maybe the other parts will be in the 201 or the employee's file. Now we have a application entity which has a relationship to the employee. The employee issues the application, and the application was issued by the employee. Now the relationship, which is the issues, is an attribute which is the issue date. When did the employee applied for an application for leave? Now let's focus on the application. The entity application has attributes: date, reason, application number, which has underline on it, so it means it is a primary key, and the time. Now let's go back to date. The date has attributes, which is the day, month, year. The time has also an attribute, hour, minute, and second. And other than that, there is no other attributes. These attributes, the date, the time, and application number, and the reason, are, I think, the necessary to be included in our attribute for the application entity. It's just that we just really need the time and date for an assurance of when the employee might leave. The next entity that we will be discussing is about the human resource that has attributes, name, and code number. The code number is the primary key of the entity human resource. Now the attribute name has three attributes, which is the given name, the middle name, and the surname. Now the relationship between the human resource and the employee is that the human resource will supervise the employee on applying for her or his application form for a leave. As I have said a while ago, that I have just included the attributes, name, and code number because I think that is the only necessary to include in my data model. The last entity that is involved in this data model is the immediate head. The entity immediate head has two attributes, the name and the code number. Now the name has attributes also that are the given name, the middle name, the surname, just like the human resource attributes. The immediate head also supervises the employee, and the employee will be supervised by the immediate head. The last part of this vlog is about the cardinality of my data model. So please pay attention of every detail for you to not skip any of my vlog tutorial. Please note that we are using the cross-foot rotation in our dealing with the cardinality. For the last part of this vlog is determining the cardinality of our entities that further explains the relationship from one entity to another. Let's have first the employee. An employee, let's see first these two lines here, which is actually the cardinality of the relationship employee and the application. But first, this one line out from this application entity, outer part 1, and the inner part 1 of the application. Now, the outer part, think of it as the minimum transaction of an employee to an application. The inner part is the maximum transaction of an employee to an application. Let's explain it well. Now, how many applications can an employee can have? It could be one and only one. You can only apply for a leave once per transaction. Now, from application to employee, how many employee can have an application? Actually, I want to reiterate that part, which I actually mean how many employee can an application accommodate for a transaction? One and only. So that's why the cardinality of these entities, employee and application, has one and only one. Now let's go to the human resource and the employee. The employee has two lines. The human resource has these, which means many to one. Okay, so let's explain it well. How many human resource transaction or supervising can have to an employee? One and only one. Now, how many employee can have be supervised by a human resource? It could be many employees per transaction on one human resource. That's why it has one, or the minimum, the maximum, many, one, or one, many. Now let's go to the immediate head. The cardinality of it is that the employee has one and only. How many employee can have transaction to an immediate head? One and only. So how many employee can an immediate head can supervise? Could be many, one or many. So,
oh my god! Wow!
I am actually hoping that you have fully understood my data model, that I have explained it to you well, and I hope to see you again for another vlog tutorial. So goodbye for now.